All right, so let's talk about healthcare in America. Um, I was trying to think of the best, I guess, hot topic to talk about first. Um, Something that's a little more like specific and relevant in the media. And I'd been trying to come up with something, and this works because it seems to be pretty dividing. Don't get me wrong. I understand a lot of people are very upset about murder. Uh, And while I completely understand wanting to believe that you have a moral fiber intact, it seems to be the people who, in any other situation, have no moral fibers that are saying this is murder and wrong. Um, they don't bat an eye when people die. Thousands of people die every year from denied health care. Yeah, like I don't know what people think in America that makes them think we have some sort of great, the world's best medicine or whatever, but we are far and away from being the best place in the world for healthcare. And that is why we have a pretty high infant mortality rate for a developed country. We have a low life expectancy for a developed country. We have people dying from lack of access to medical care in a developed country. So, at some point, when do y'all stop and say, you know what, I understand? You know, anytime, and this is going to piss some people off, and I really don't care, but anytime I see a riot from the left, it's usually out of empathy. When I see riots from the right, it's usually because they're not getting their way, not getting a haircut when you want one because of COVID. Oh, or rioting at the Capitol because you were pissed off your president lost the election. Not because there was cheating, because he lost. When the left riots, it's because excessive police brutality or an entirely corrupt healthcare system that is milking people literally to death for money. So I hate splitting hairs, but I mean, when do y'all stop? When is the right going to say, you know what? Maybe I will show a little empathy. Um, because at the end of the day, there is no such thing as too much empathy. Uh, you can be too smart. I run into that wall all the time. Because I want to solve something because I think I can, and not everything can be solved with math or logic, uh, which is a gift and a curse. But there is no such thing as being too empathetic. So, but there is such thing as not showing any. So at what point, it's logic. It would be logical to deny access to healthcare to save money on the bottom. From a capitalist perspective, if I'm running a business, I want to spend the least amount of money. How do I save money? I deny care. I deny service. That saves money. That is logical. It's not empathetic. So there is a point where logic is wrong. It doesn't matter how right it is, it's wrong. It is wrong to put someone's life, well, or put the bottom dollar as more important than the life of another human being, period. I don't care how you try to spin that. You can call me a liberal, whatever you want. I've heard it all. There will never be a day where I will say, yes, you know what? If it will save us a little money, it's okay if those people die. So my main question is, I guess this video is going to be more directed at Republicans as a question. At what point do you start saying, you know what, we'll show a little empathy. Let's show some empathy, because if the healthcare system was not ran for profit, if it was not a capitalist hellscape, Brian Thompson would be alive. No one would be out seeking vengeance against the system if it wasn't inherently morally bankrupt. So I understand. You know, chances are he's going to get convicted. Uh, well, assuming they even have the right guy. The dude they've got in custody is probably about as skinny as I am, but you see some of the pictures of the other dude, and I mean, he's pretty fucking jacked. So I know there's a lot of speculation going on the internet about it might not even be the right guy. I actually believe that's a possibility to some degree. I think the FBI got a little desperate and stashed a bunch of stuff on some dude, arrested him, and said that this is him. Because I do not believe that someone who did something like that would be running around with all that stuff on them. That's just absolutely crazy. Nobody's that stupid, especially someone who's valedictorian. Like, the guy's smart. So I think he's still probably out there, but I don't know. But either way, the point is, every time the left does something that the right deems violent, it is 99% of the time out of questionable but altruistic purposes. When is the right ever altruistic? When do they ever say, you know what? Humanity is definitely more important than money. They don't. So, as far as how I feel, no, I do not condone murder, but I have the ability, and I urge you to try and develop this skill. But I have the ability to understand and empathize with other people in situations that I will never be in. I don't know Luigi's story if he's really the shooter. I don't know what he's been through in every little detail. We know what the media's told us, but I don't know what goes on in his head. I don't know his struggles, and I don't know what put him to the breaking point, and neither do you. And most of us don't know our breaking point and what we would do if we ever got there. So, and the fact that he actually specifically mentioned in his manifesto that he wanted to avoid harming innocence. He wanted to avoid innocent people, because most of us understand that a healthcare CEO is not morally an innocent person. Their job is to ensure profits for a company. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, from a finance person, it's a load of bullshit to try and deny care. Those companies make so much fucking money, it is insane. They can absolutely afford to be helping people out more. But of course, you can't pay executive multi-million-dollar salaries and bonuses and stock options if you do that. I'd even go so far as to say if you hold insurance with a company, they should allow you to have stock, like give you a fraction of a share every couple months or something, for staying with them and using their insurance. Not only would that make me want to stay as a customer, but it helps everybody. It helps them too, because the more people who hold their stock, the more the stock price goes up. So it's kind of frustrating, because I am empathetic, but I do have a background in finance, and it's just so difficult to see the vast capability of this country's economy, the things that we are capable of doing as a society that I know are right there within our grasp. All it would take is a shift in perspective. But no, we just don't want to do that. So we would rather society stay the way it is, to the point where young men feel like their only option is assassinating a healthcare CEO. And it's not even that it's his only. He just he felt that the only way to make a change is that. And if we're at that point now, it's not going to get better. The snowball's going to keep rolling unless the change happens now. So I don't know who the next one will be. But chances are there's somebody out there watching their significant other die from cancer right now that they can't afford to treat. and Luigi has planted that seed. So I really do hope that the people who need to hear the message hear the message. The American people are tired. They are wore out. A lot are sick and can't get the care they need. And that falls on the people who run everything. It's not my fault. And chances are, whoever's watching this video, it's not your fault either. There's not much we can do about it. At least, there's not much we can do peacefully. And, you know, some people, like Luigi, that's what they're going to do. They're going to make sure that they're heard. And I hope it doesn't come to that again. But the change has got to happen. And if it doesn't, I doubt this will be the last. I mean, they tried to assassinate Trump 2 or 3 times this year, which I'm pretty sure those were 100% fake, because there's no way you get missed 3 times by a rifle. So those are more than likely fake, but who cares? So anyway, that's my thought. Again, like I said, I don't condone it. I would never tell somebody to go shoot somebody or encourage it. But if you refuse to sit back and try to empathize with people who are hurting, nothing's going to change. So that's all I have to say about it. Y'all leave your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you think. And y'all be safe.